From Requiem to Reconstruction, interview with Arata Owada Vol.5 post date 08/21/2017 current status of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The environment has now improved to the point where it can be described as a construction site, rather than a disaster-stricken site. The importance of communicating from Fukushima now. After giving 2 lectures in Hawaii, Arata Owada says what those who remain can do is not forget. But is it enough to just not forget? At the end of the interview, I asked if there was anything the people of Hawaii could do. Interviewer, Minorao Matsuo / Nikkan Sunday, August 16, 2016, Arata Owada born on March 28, 1955. Family of 4, including wife, eldest son, and eldest daughter. Former radio announcer in Fukushima, programming director. Currently freelance announcer. Author, scheduled to publish Owada Notes, The Importance of Communicating, The Splendor of Communicating. In September this year, when you change the TV channel, the neighboring channel also changes. Marital quarrels and temporary housing are quiet, and 20 people commit suicide every year due to stress. There are far more earthquake-related deaths after the disaster than those who died directly from the earthquake, and about 20 people commit suicide every year. What exactly are these related deaths? Owada, in the case of Fukushima Prefecture, approximately 4,000 people are dead or missing. However, 1,604 people died from the earthquake and tsunami. However, as of May 27, there were already 2,044 deaths related to the earthquake. Earthquake-related deaths include chronic illnesses worsening due to the stress of forced evacuations due to the nuclear power plant accident, diabetes worsening, high blood pressure, progression of dementia, and abnormal obesity due to lack of exercise, but the most serious one right now is suicide. That's what it is. Last year, there were 23 suicides recognized as disaster-related deaths in the 3 disaster-affected prefectures, 1 in Miyagi Prefecture, 3 in Iwate Prefecture, and all 19 in Fukushima Prefecture. Earthquake-related deaths are recognized by the government. If a person in Namicho hangs himself, it is Namicho that recognizes it as an earthquake-related death. However, the couple had fought the day before, and as a result, the wife committed suicide by hanging herself. This cannot be recognized as an earthquake-related death. The reason why the couple fought was that they were forced into a small temporary housing. The walls were so thin that their voices could not be heard, and when they changed the channel on the TV, it was too loud to even hear the channel next door, making it impossible to argue. Even the husband and wife's arguments are suppressed in small voices. Stress builds up, and no one knows how many more years they will have to live in this temporary housing. That anxiety, dissatisfaction, and anger causes him to suddenly hang himself. This is not a death due to a marital quarrel, but an earthquake-related suicide. Therefore, I think there are many more true earthquake-related deaths that are not recognized as disaster-related deaths. Moreover, even if he leaves this temporary building, he will hang himself and die alone. Temporary housing is not a good idea, and we absolutely have to move out of it as soon as possible. However, reconstruction housing has been built, and even though we ask people to enter, it is a lottery. The people living in those housing units should not move all together to the reconstruction housing, they should move alone. When you enter reconstruction housing, loneliness awaits you. After losing their families, fathers are drinking shochu with milk in the morning. I lost my wife, I lost my child, I lost my job, I had nothing to do and I was all alone. Well, these people who drink shochu in the morning are the ones who commit suicide because of loneliness. The government has to respond in such a detailed manner, but it has not kept up. Temporary housing has thin walls that allow you to hear voices and prevent loud fights. The greatest support is not to forget the sound of the big drum is delivered from the coast of Fukushima to New York. Finally, could you please give a message to Nikkan Sun readers, including what we who live in Hawaii can do for the people of Fukushima? Owada, this time, there was a major disaster in my hometown, including the nuclear power plant accident, so I'm trying to convey people's suffering, sadness, and the importance of life. But when the Great Hanshin-Awaji earthquake occurred 21 years ago, couldn't do anything. 150 people died during the Hokkaido Nanseoki earthquake, but nothing could be done. So I can't say anything grand. Just, don't forget. I believe that the greatest support is not to forget. I really think this is enough. A famous person came to Fukushima Prefecture just once and held various events to mark his own milestones. I think true support means listening to the people in the disaster area, listening carefully to what they need, and then providing support. But they say it's a song because they can sing. If the people in the disaster area really wanted to hear songs, it would be support, but instead, if they suddenly came and sang, it would be coercive. For the past 5 years and 4 months, Tohoku has experienced this pressure quite a bit. All Tohoku people are very patient, so I can't say I don't like it. There are still people who come to the soup kitchen even though the soup kitchen has long since ended. But thinking that a disaster-stricken area is equal to a soup kitchen, and throwing away what's left over from the soup kitchen is not support at all. It's actually a nuisance. First of all, I would be happy if you could come to the site and give me feedback on what you felt there, but it is difficult to come there. That's why I think it's really important to never forget. Especially since it is difficult for people from Hawaii to come to Fukushima. Even on September 11th in New York, we couldn't do anything. So, since September 11th of this year falls on a Sunday, I brought out a friend of mine who plays taiko from Aizu, and we will perform for New York in the garden of the home of Mr. Takayuki Ueno, who lost 4 members of his family. Of course it won't reach New York, but I'm sure my feelings will reach it. I've told this to my friends in New York, and I'm thinking of posting it on YouTube as well. But they have never been to the Fukushima disaster area. So first, let them see the disaster area and see that it is still like this. Then, we light incense at the home of Mr. Ueno, who lost 4 members of his family, listen to Mr. Ueno's story, and then have him strike toward New York in Mr. Ueno's garden. There are people in Aizu who haven't been to the disaster area, so it's natural that people in Hawaii can't do anything. Just please don't forget, thank you for your time. End.